Is everyone ready?
1 minute.
Yep.
Okay.
Vote position. Okay, so unmuted. And Jane or Judy, if you can record, please. Thank you. I'm all set.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Tonight is the work session for the Borough of Ramsey Mayor and Council for Wednesday, May 10th, 2023. And this meeting is also being conducted telephonically. The dial-in number is 425-436-6365, with the access code being 213563 #. You may also view this meeting on the Ramsey YouTube channel, and you can find that on the front page of the Ramsey Borough website. May we have roll call, please?
Mayor Dillon,
Here.
Councilwoman Cusick,
Here.
Councilman Gutwetter,
Here.
Councilman Kilman,
Here.
Councilman Popolo,
Here.
Councilwoman Poppy,
Here.
Councilwoman Woods.
Here.
We stand for the flag, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of all citizens to have advance notice of and to attend all meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting the public is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, notice of this meeting, the mayor and council was published in the Bergen Record and in the Ridgewood News on Friday, January 13th, 2023. Do we have approval of minutes?
Yes, Council President. I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from April 26th, 2023.
Do we have a second?
This is Councilwoman Cusick. I second.
Thank you. Are there any comments on the minutes?
They were long.
Aside from that, any other? Thank you. May we have roll call, please?
Councilwoman Cusick?
Yes.
Councilman Gutwetter?
Yes.
Councilman Kilman?
Yes.
Councilman Popolo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Poppy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Woods?
Yes.
Do we have approval of the communications or recognition of the communications received?
I will I will approve the communications from tonight's agenda.
And I will second that. Do we have any comments on those communications?
Council President, if I could I would just comment on the first one there and on the safety award from the Joint Insurance Fund that the borough received for 2022, and thank all of our employees and volunteers for all the training and programs that they do throughout the year that help us keep our risk levels down and our absences down and things like that that have allowed us to achieve a safety award for 2022.
Thank you, Mr. Bozay. Anyone else? Not seeing anyone. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Cusick?
Yes.
Councilman Gutwetter?
Yes.
Councilman Kilman?
Yes.
Councilman Popolo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Poppy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Woods?
Yes.
Thank you. At this time, we will have public comment. Anyone wishing to address the governing body, please give your name, spelling the last name and address. Please speak in an audible tone and address your comments to the chair. There will be a 5-minute time limit per speaker unless reduced because of the volume of business on the agenda. Please know public comment is your time. Out of respect and fairness to all, there will be no interruptions or questions answered during your time. No time shall be ceded to anyone else, and no time shall be saved for later use. Any responses may be given during the governing body's comments later in the meeting or as directed by the chair. The borough clerk is the official timekeeper.
Good evening. My name is Don Habas, H-A-B-A-S. I live on 148 Deer Trail North. So I want to speak about something that happened yesterday, and I wasn't the only one that was kind of bothered by it. So I work from home, and about 4:20, actually it was 4:20 because I saw it on my ring timestamp. I'm going to knock on the door, and the door opens, right? So it's a little annoying, and my dog stopped barking, so I get up from working, I go to the door, and it's pest control. I service many of your neighbors, and I said, I'm good, we have a service that we like. Well, you know, we do this and this. I said, you know, after about 3 or 4 times, finally, I got him off my property, right? And then I started thinking about something related to soliciting where I used to live, and I posted something on one of the Ramsey Facebook groups just to ask if you know, anybody knew about this, and I'll get to that in a second. I texted one of my neighbors. I asked if she had that person come over, and she said, yeah. I was on a Zoom call. He saw I was on a Zoom call, kept on talking. I finally had to get loud and throw him off my property, right? So, and I was going to come to the meeting. I thought it was yesterday, but, so I said, all right, I'll come tomorrow. And then it got even better. Last night, 8:38, same thing. I go to the door. He goes, oh, I forgot I came here already. I said, why are you bothering people this late at night? He goes, oh, well, it's not that late. I said, people work, people have young kids. Nobody wants to be bothered with you. Why? He goes, yeah. And then I said, what company do you work for? And he goes, all right, good night. I go, no, what company do you work for? And he just walked away. Wouldn't tell me the company he worked for. Then I went on Facebook to see if there were any responses to my post. And somebody else said, yeah, he just came by at 8:30, and my husband had to get loud because he wouldn't leave the property. This is the 3rd or 4th person that told me that they really had to get aggressive with this kid because he was just the most annoying salesman. And you know, it's not 1970 where you have an encyclopedia salesman, you know, come to your door, right? If people need a service, they know where to go. So, and then somebody else said, yeah, he came up on like a hoverboard, and she got scared in the driveway, right? So, you know, and it's a little unnerving because where I live, we don't get people knocking on the door at all, not even Halloween, right? So, you know, if you're an elderly person who's by yourself, you don't want to have to deal with this. So, so somebody else posted on my reply on my Facebook post saying that Ramsey Borough Code, it's unlawful to pedal before 10 a.m. or after 3 p.m., right? So twice this guy violated this. And then also, you must produce a license to anybody in the borough who you solicit. And when I asked him what company he worked for, he's probably not supposed to just walk away and not tell me, right? So what I was thinking was, before moving to Ramsey, I used to live in Nanuet, which is part of Clarkstown. And in Clarkstown, about 7, 8 years ago, they implemented a no-knock registry, okay? Orangetown did the same thing, maybe a couple of other places in Rockland. And it's very successful. It excludes you know, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, school band, you know, fundraiser, even politicians going door to door, right? But if you do have a permit to solicit and you are on that no-knock registry and you violate it, first you could be fined up to $2,500. The 5th offense, you could be fined all the way up to $15,000, right? I'm sure nobody wants to deal with somebody going door to door selling things nowadays. I do have a printout of the stuff from Clarkstown I can give, and it's a form. I mean, it's a form with 7 fields. So, you know, if you do go to, you know, implement this, don't let an IT guy tell you it's going to cost $10,000, $15,000. I mean, this is something that, you know, can be done in a couple of quick minutes. So, yeah, once again, I do ask that you do consider this because in this day and age, I mean, you know, it's a burden. Nobody wants to have anybody knocking on their door, so.
That's for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, here, if you leave it right there on the table there, then I'll come and pick it up. No, thank you.
Okay, it's the page, the form, and then also their town code that has a schedule of.
Okay.
Can I speak real quick?
Yes, please.
I live in the same neighborhood as Mr. Havis, and the same guy came by our house yesterday afternoon. He was extremely aggressive. He would not take no for an answer. My husband started raising his voice.
Yeah.
The guy would not leave.
Yep.
I'd just like to say, I use Aptiv actually, and they're very good for what they do, but they should not be coming at 8:39 at night or, yeah. it's
Yeah,
crazy.
but if they're not, my concern is that if there's no identification or no badge, we just don't want somebody soliciting something and then asking to write a check, or, I mean, it could be,
Well, he was being very aggressive.
have a
like, you know,
contract.
if you want
Yeah.
the service, you have to do it now. And he was like, well, let me research and I'll get back to you. It's like, oh, well, then you won't get the special pricing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
that's-
he's-
that's-
And that point about an elderly person starting to worry and the fear of, I have spiders in my yard, I have ants, came to my house last year, we signed the contract, and I went, what did we just do? And within 24 hours, there's a cancellation, but it's it's very challenging to cancel it with the small print, so, like, that pressured sale, to Mr. Habas's point, it is totally hits home when you're dealing with oh, this is a really good deal, and by midnight tonight, I have to make this commitment.
Oh, he was throwing a risky tactic.
Yeah,
He just sounds like a
But
a bad
like
apple.
fraud.
because
Well,
they-
you know, he
what
was
I
at my house today, and I asked him to leave several times and told him I wasn't interested. He was still talking as the door was closing. And he would not give me any materials. He didn't have a card, he didn't
Yep.
have anything that I could take, so, yeah,
Same thing
it
with
was,
us.
it was
It's
off-putting.
a bad person.
All right, thank you.
no, thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're in public comment. Does anyone else on the phone have any comments to make? Second time. Any comments? Not hearing any. We'll go to the third. And at this time, we will close public comment. We do not have any advertised public hearing for final consideration of ordinances. Madam Mayor, do we have appointments?
Yes, thank you. I make the following appointments. Simon Yang to the Ramsey Rescue Squad, probationary member. Shank Englishman, Office of Emergency Management, Deputy Emergency Management Coordinator. And Jonathan Creel to the Office of Emergency Management. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to go out of the regular order of business to hold the public hearing on the Bergen County Open Space Project application for lighting improvement project at Finch Park. Do I have a second?
Yes, you do. I second the motion, thank you.
Okay. And I will read this particular order. Oh, roll call, please, for changing of order.
Councilwoman Cusick?
Yes.
Councilman Gutwetter?
Yes.
Councilman Kilman?
Yes.
Councilman Popolo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Poppy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Woods?
Yes,
Thank you. We, the Borough of Ramsey, will now hold a public hearing on submitting the following application to the 2023 Bergen County Trust Fund Municipal Program for Park Development. Those include the 2023 Bergen County Open Space Trust Fund application for the following project: Finch Park lighting improvements, and the improvements are intended to take place at the following park location within the Borough of Ramsey, Block 450, lots 3-4, 315 Island Road, Ramsey, in New Jersey, zip 07446. Formal action is taken in accordance with the regulation governing the submission of the Bergen County Trust Fund Municipal Program for the park development application. The mayor and council is conducting this public hearing to obtain citizen input concerning this grant application. And right now, we'll take time to open for public hearing. There is no one in chambers. Is there anyone on the phone? Not hearing anyone, I will ask two more times. Is there anyone on the phone who would like to comment on the submission of the 2023 Bergen County Trust Fund grant? And again, I ask, is there anyone who would like to comment on this particular grant?
Before you,
Please,
Council
Mr.
President.
Bozay?
Yes, Council President, before you close it, I'd like to make some comments
Certainly.
describing the project, if we have no other questions from the public. The borough in 2022, with the use of a prior year open space grant, put in place the 4 new pickleball courts at Finch Park. Later in 2023, we will be utilizing our 2022 open space grant award to resurface the basketball courts at Finch Park adjacent to the pickleball courts. In looking towards our 2023 open space grant application, which is what this public hearing is for, We reviewed a number of items and decided that the 2023 application would be to replace and enhance the lighting at Finch Park to increase utilization of the park facility. The current lighting in Finch Park is decades old, very inefficient, and creates more light spill to the neighboring area than newer technology provides. In addition, LED lighting would reduce electric load. This will ultimately be a multi-phase project to update and enhance the lighting throughout the park. Our 2023 grant application will focus on the first phase of this plan, which will include the park area covering the new pickleball courts and basketball courts. The project would replace the current lights and poles and add lighting to the pickleball court area. The new lighting would be with more efficient LED fixtures. These would also allow for, as mentioned, less spill light and provide more focused lighting on the playing areas. As we've discussed previously, pickleball is the fastest growing sport in the United States, is now being played by people of all ages, from children through seniors. Adding lighting to the pickleball courts at Finch Park, which currently do not have lights, would allow for greater opportunities to play, particularly in the spring and the fall when the natural sunlight does not allow play for those looking to play after a normal workday. The new technology will also allow for easier automated control of the lights to more easily set curfews, and also have options for playing lights to go out at curfew times with safety lights remaining on longer. This project is supported by the Ramsey Recreation community and will be a great addition in helping our residents continue to enjoy our park facilities throughout the year. The project cost estimate prepared by Land Associates is $250,000. The Open Space Grant Program requires a 50% match by the municipality. So the grant request is for $125,000, and the 50% match would then be funded by Ramsey.
Thank you, Mr. Mosé. My mistake, I should have had you read that following my introduction of the particular order. As a result, I'm going to ask for public comment 2 more times with that new information. So if there's anyone who would like to comment on what Borough Administrator Mr. Mosé has just read regarding that order, now is the time to comment. And lastly, one more time on this hearing for this particular grant. Not hearing any, I will close the public hearing on this particular grant, and we'll make a motion to return.
Motion to return to regular order?
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Cusick?
Yes.
Councilman Gutwetter?
Yes.
Councilman Kilman?
Yes.
Councilman Popolo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Poppy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Woods?
Yes.
Thank you. We will move to consent resolutions. Councilman Gutwetter.
Thank you, Council President Kilman. Be it resolved that resolutions 114, 2023 through and including 122, 2023, having been considered by the governing body of the Borough of Ramsey, be and are hereby passed and approved. This special permit request, the Northern New Jersey ALS Association, is requesting permission to hang a banner on the fence at the high school tennis courts from May 15th through June 11th, 2023, for their ALS walk on Sunday, June 11th at the Saddle River County Park. And a block party request is from Brian Drews, 37 Elbert Court, requesting permission for a block party on June 17th, 2023, from 2 to 10 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Cusick?
Yes.
Councilman Gutwetter?
Yes.
Councilman Kilman?
Yes.
Councilman Popolo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Poppy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Woods?
Yes.
We don't have any special presentations listed, so we will move into the committee and liaison reports. Finance and Administration, Councilman Michael Gutwetter.
Thank you again, Council President Kilman. First off, I just want to congratulate and thank Simon, Jake, and Jonathan on their appointments. For my liaison reports, I have some reports provided by the directors. First off, with the library, this is from Director Latham. This report will focus on the Library Con 23. It's running the first Library Con since the beginning of the pandemic. And it's a comic convention-style event. The event will take place this Saturday, May 13th, from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. at the library, and there'll be events for all ages. There'll be an artist alley with 6 different comic book artists, illustrators, and graphic designers. There'll be a Ghostbusters vehicle will be parked in the parking lot for photos, a costume contest for children from 2 to 3 p.m. with prizes, a gaming room with multi-video game stations and board games, members of the 501st Legion, volunteers dressed in movie-grade Star Wars costumes for a meet and greet and photos. I don't think they had any of this stuff when we were kids.
Chewbacca.
Superhero crafts all day, superhero temporary tattoos, and food and refreshments. And parking will be available at the Redeemer Church across the street. As for the pool commission, opening day is coming up. It's Saturday, May 27th, which is really only a couple weeks from now, 2.5 weeks away. That's Memorial Day weekend, between the hours of 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. The pool will be open on the weekends until June 24th, and then it'll be open full-time and every day until Labor Day. Weekdays in June are booked solid with many town functions, school parties, and swim practices, and the pool staff looks forward to seeing everyone there very soon. As for the Recreation Commission, camp registration is still ongoing. It ends on Friday, June 16th. Early bird registration discount ends on May 18th. The regular rate is $275 per child, $450 per family, and discounts are $25 or $50 less. There are 245 children registered, and the limit is 400 children. I believe it's finishing kindergarten through finishing 5th grade are the ages of the children for the camp. It begins on Monday, June 26th, and runs through Friday, July 28th. Recreation softball leagues are in progress. Home Run Derby is coming up pretty soon. That's on Saturday, June 17th. The Ramsey Run, way down into the future, Saturday, September 30th. Check the rec website for updated registration information and activities. That's all I have for this evening.
Thank you, Councilman Goodwin. Public safety, this is my report. First, I'd like to congratulate Simon Jiang, Jake Englishman, and Jonathan Creel on their emergency services appointments. I also want to let people know that the Board of Health meeting for the month of May will be tomorrow night, May 11th. And I also have a report from former councilman and military veteran Joe Verdone regarding VFW Post 12148. The VFW's annual poppy donations began on May 1st. Raising funds for the poppy donations will continue to run until June 30th. Donation locations are at various retail establishments throughout the borough. On Monday, May 1st, several VFW members attended the Wyckoff YMCA annual roll call for the Veterans Program and luncheon. Approximately 400 veterans from the area enjoyed a luncheon with uplifting talks and entertainment. At our monthly meeting, our oldest member, Charlie Nakinitz, soon to be 102 years old, reported on his most wonderful and successful honor flight to Washington, D.C. He, along with other veterans from across the United States, were honored at the World War II Memorial for their service. He was pleased to share with us how honored he felt to have had the opportunity to attend the event. On Sunday, May 7th, the VFW members set up a booth at the Ramsey Farmers Market. They had a very successful day selling patriotic shirts and receiving poppy donations. On Monday, May 29th, Memorial Day, here is the preliminary schedule of events include, and if anyone has any update on this, I'm going to go down for a quick litany of this. Mr. Vose, you can correct me. At 9 a.m. to 9:45 p.m., or a.m., sorry, 9 a.m. to 9:45 a.m., the VFW Memorial Service for Fallen Soldiers will be at Union Cemetery. 10:30 a.m. to 11 a.m., parade marchers will gather on Maple Street. At 11 a.m., the Memorial Parade steps off onto Main Street up to the Ramsey High School, and at 11:45 a.m. to 12:15 p.m. will be the VFW Memorial Service at Veterans Park. And that is Mr. Verdone's report regarding the VFW post. And that finishes my report. Utilities, buildings, and grounds. Councilwoman Judy Cusick.
Nope.
Can I
Building
hand it over to
plannings.
Jane, though? Councilwoman Woods?
Oh, did I skip? Building, Planning, and Zoning, Councilman Jane Woods, sorry.
Thank you, Council President Kilman. Congratulations and thanks to Simon Jiang on his probationary member appointment to the Ramsey Rescue Squad. Congratulations to Jake Englishman on his appointment as Deputy Emergency Management Coordinator at Ramsey's OEM, and Jonathan Creel on his appointment to OEM as well. The Design Review Board will meet Tuesday, May 23rd. Senior Trustees Board will meet Thursday, May 11th, which is tomorrow. The Zoning Board of Adjustment will meet next Wednesday, May 17th. I would like to share one thing, a resolution that Bergen County passed on May 3rd. The month of May 2023 was declared Older Americans Month. The resolution urges every resident to recognize the contributions of our older citizens, help to create an inclusive society, and join efforts to support older Americans' choices about how they age in their communities. Bergen County's population consists of nearly 18% of older adults age 65 and above. Older American Month was established in 1963 by members of the National Council of Senior Citizens by President John F. Kennedy. And in 1965, President Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Older Americans Act into law, leading the way for Bergen County to establish the first office on aging in the country in 1966. The Division of Senior Services works to keep older adults safe from injuries and falls, medical interactions, overdoses, and encourages older adults to put their safety and well-being first and every circumstance to remain vital, healthy, and active. The goal is to keep older adults independent and in their homes for as long as possible. That completes my report. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilwoman Woods. And now, Utilities, Buildings, and Grounds, Councilwoman Judy Cusick.
Thank you, Council President. This is Councilwoman Cusick's report for the 10th of May, 2023. I congratulate Simon Jiang, probationary member, and also Jonathan Creel for his appointment to our Office of Emergency Management. And about Jake, also congratulations to his Deputy Emergency Management Coordinator position. He recently passed his emergency manager course final, and it was no small feat because it was over 160 hours of emergency management training. My report tonight will provide you with an update of our Planning Board, the Shade Tree Commission, and our Board of Public Works. Our Planning Board met in person, first time in over almost 3 years, on May 2nd, 2023. There was one site plan waiver, and there were 2 public hearings. The hearing for Evergreen Properties was carried to our June 6th meeting, and our next Planning Board meeting is not on May 16th. It's been canceled, so it will be in the beginning of June. I will come back with that date, but it's the first Tuesday of the month. Our Shade Tree last met on the 20th of April. Thank you, June 6th. Thank you. Our Shade Tree met on the 20th of April. The tree dedication for Jim Rogers at Finch Park was postponed due to the rain on the weekend of the 28th, 29th, and the 30th. Please note that there is information on our borough's website for our Shade Tree Commission, and our next meeting is the 18th of May. The Board of Public Works last met on April 17th, and the next meeting is May 15th. Regarding our lead service line replacement, the Board of Public Works continues planning regarding our lead service line replacement legislation. This project requires that all lead service lines served by the water system be replaced by the year 2031. I also, that concludes my report for Utilities, Buildings, and Grounds. I also want to thank Meredith for double-siding our information packets. It's resourceful on the use of paper, and also on the flip side, there's less to recycle. So every little bit counts. Thank you, and happy Mother's Day. And if you're not a mom, you might have a mom, or you made someone a mom, and I hope it's a joyful weekend. Thank you, Council President Kilman.
Thank you, Councilwoman Judy Cusick. Public and Governmental Relations, Councilwoman Sarah Poppy.
Thank you. So regarding the new resident mixer, the registration is open and letters have been received by our new residents. You can register at tinyurl.com/Ramsey Welcome 23. We already have about 40 families, so 114 people signed up since the letters were received over the weekend. So that's fantastic, a lot of interest. and the date is June 20th with a rain date of June 21st. The organizations in town have been sent a save the date, and they will receive an electronic form to fill out, just verifying that they will be in attendance. I would like to congratulate Simon Yang, Jake Englishman, and Jonathan Creel on their respective appointments. No small feat. We really appreciate their service to our emergency services in town. The Ramsey Municipal Alliance is partnered with the Ramsey Juniors. They are doing some work for Mental Health Awareness Month. So if you plant seeds in your garden, you can take a photo and put it on social media with hashtag Ramsey Planting Seeds of Wellness. They do have zinnia seedlings available at Ramsey Nursery for juniors and RMA members to plant with their families. Also, they are hosting a Give Back May. This will be at Anthony Coalfire Pizza. If you mention Ramsey Juniors on May 11th, tomorrow, May 18th, next Thursday, May 25th, the last Thursday of the month, 20% of your bill will be donated back to mental health awareness. The Ramsey Chamber of Commerce will be hosting an event on May 17th at 6 p.m. at TD Bank in Interstate on business succession planning. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilwoman Poppy. Health, Education, and Social Services, Councilman Glenn Popolo.
Thank you, Council President Kilman. Congratulations to Simon, Jake, and Jonathan on their appointments. First start off with Rife, 428, they had their spring dance, a big turnout, and it went well for that at the high school. All others will be mainly done at St. Paul's in the future. The softball season is in full swing, no pun intended, but our next game is Saturday in Mawa, and that will be at 6 p.m. right this Saturday, so not at the scheduled 3 p.m. And it will be in Mawa at Continental Field. June 17th will be our final game. That'll be probably at 7 p.m. or 6:30, somewhere around there at McFerrin. And then the other date to keep in line is June 24th is the gala event that will be at Ramsey High School. Environmental Commission, we met 5/9, three major things. One, they had a successful environmental day, and next year will be the 20-year anniversary for their environmental day, so we'll probably do something for that. The second thing, the main thing, was the styrofoam recycling. I know there's been conversations around that and getting a review on how we're gonna handle the styrofoam recycling to go through. And the last one was a presentation that we will get probably next meeting on recycling for food waste, to kind of go through. That was one that I'll probably bring back to the vote, in terms of reviewing that presentation. Not sure if they're gonna do it here, or I'll just, provide that presentation for all of you for that. And the Board of Ed will be on May 23rd, so that'll give an update in my next session. That concludes my update.
Thank you very much, Councilman Popolo. And now, Mayor Deirdre Dillon.
Thank you, Council President Kilman. Congratulations to Simon Yang on joining the Ramsey Rescue Squad, and thank you for serving. I'd like to really commend Jake Englishman for all his work on becoming a Deputy Emergency Management Coordinator for OEM. He's done a tremendous amount of work with OEM and with CERT, so he definitely should be recognized as one of the Emergency Management Coordinators. And thank you to Jonathan Creel, who is a past chief of the Ramsey Fire Department, so happy he's joining OEM. And I did want to discuss Resolution 122. I know Mr. Rose will speak more about that during his comments, but what it is, this resolution is supporting Bill S3739 and Assembly 5402, delaying the fourth round of affordable housing obligations scheduled to commence in July 2025. Ramsey has met its third round of affordable housing commitments. We have and we are working on increasing the affordable housing stock in Ramsey in anticipation of the fourth round requirements. However, things got pushed behind with COVID, and not all municipalities in the state are in as good a shape as we are. So we want to support them because people, they do need more time. It takes a lot of planning. This stuff, one of the things we're working on is obviously the housing, the special needs housing on North Central, right over here, which is going to have another hearing before the Board of Adjustment next Wednesday. We've been working on that for years. So this stuff really does take time. So we want to support our other municipalities and give us more time to plan for fourth round obligations. And I also just want to remind people, please don't post anything on utility poles and light poles. I spent the weekend ripping stuff on utility poles because people were having garage sales. It violates our borough ordinances, it's extremely unsightly, and just don't do it, please. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Our Borough Administrator, Mr. Bruce Bozay.
Thank you, Council President Kilman. A comment on a couple of the resolutions. I'll just say Resolution 116 authorized the submission of the 2023 Bergen County Open Space Grant application for Finch Park lighting improvements. We spoke about that earlier at the public hearing on this, what those improvements would be, but this resolution authorizes the submission of that grant application. At this point, there is no funding tied to that or allocated for the project. It would be provided should the grant ultimately be approved at that point in time, we would approve funding. Resolution 119 awards a contract for 2023 shade tree planting to Above Par Landscape. The borough, through the Shade Tree Commission and Coordinator Jim Troof, solicited quotes for the annual shade tree planting. 3 quotes were received, and the low quote was from Above Par Landscape. The recommendation was to award the annual planting to Above Par based on the quote in an amount of $20,470.50. A number of you have spoken about Jake Englishman as our Deputy Emergency Coordinator, his appointment and confirmation of that appointment. He's been a volunteer with OEM for over 10 years and a tremendous asset to all of us, especially through the pandemic. He was one of the founding members of CERT. He just completed, as has been mentioned, his New Jersey OEM and Emergency Management advanced course of over 160 hours. He now has been awarded or will be awarded the title of New Jersey Certified Emergency Manager. He is also a full-time dispatcher for the Ramsey Police Department, manages our BCOEM and our Web EOC program, administers and trains dispatchers and other police officers on our RAVE system, and in recognition of all those accomplishments, our OEM coordinator, Ralph Venturini, had recommended Jake for this appointment that he richly deserved, and we congratulate Jake. Mayor Dillon spoke about Resolution 122 on the supporting the Bergen County League of Municipalities and other municipalities across the state in the resolution to push back the fourth round obligations for an additional 3 years to 2028. And again, the impact of COVID that has pushed everything back and put a lot of projects on hold has kind of been the main emphasis in doing that and giving people more time to meet their third round needs. As the mayor mentioned, we have met those needs, so this is not anything that's buying us more time to do our third round, but I think it's supporting the rest of the communities around the state and to get things in order before and identify everything that's actually out there and needed to be addressed before they go to the fourth round. So I think it's a resolution to support a number of municipalities across the state trying to get everything in order. And that's all I have for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bozay. Council?
Nothing, thank you, sir.
Borough Clerk, Ms.
I have
Bendian?
nothing, thank you.
Nothing tonight. There will be no introduction of ordinances. Do we have any unfinished business? Any new business? Not seeing anybody. We have a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
A second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.